Hello and welcome to today's reading. Thank you for joining me in this space today. If you're new to my channel, I'll just say first of all, these are general readings. So, that it is a general reading that's coming through. So just take what resonates and leave what doesn't. What I will say though is that my videos don't reach very many people. So the likelihood is that if there is, if you've clicked on this today, there is likely something in here that's meant to reach you. So listen right through to the end and just see what that is. And as always, if it does resonate, please click on the comments below and put in there your little story. I love to read them. It's really inspiring stuff. Okay, so I'll let you know how I receive my insights. So they come through as a series of words, phrases, sometimes dialogue between people, sometimes little scenarios played out in my head. And then what I do is I back them up with tarot. Okay, so we'll get going. So the first thing that came through to me was a voice saying, I was soft. I gave them all the options and myself none. So I get the feeling like you may have been, and maybe still are, a bit of a people pleaser, and, going out of your way to make sure that somebody else or other people in general, it might just not be one person, it might be everyone, making sure that all of their needs are met, but maybe at the expense of your own. And I'll explain why I think that in just a moment. Now, the first tarot card that I drew for this particular message that came through was the Seven of Cups. Now, the Seven of Cups, normally when I draw this in a reading, I'm sort of like, this is you and these are all of the options that you've got moving forward and you don't know which way to go. But for this particular reading, because it's for that first phrase that came through, I feel like whatever you're doing at the moment, you're giving someone all of these options to maybe try and solve a problem for them, solve a problem in a situation that you're both in or you're in as a collective perhaps, or maybe this is a work environment and you're throwing all of these things out there, and not necessarily just for yourself, it's for somebody else. Okay, and then the next message that came through is a feeling that someone else has taken credit for your work. So I feel like whoever is reading this, listening to this message today, has been putting so much work into thinking through a problem, giving someone all of these different solutions to whatever it is. I mean, it might even be in a relationship. It might be that you're having sort of like difficulty navigating it and you're coming up with all these ideas, but somebody else is taking credit for it. So it's almost like you're not being appreciated for the effort that you've put into be coming up with all of these things. That's the message that's coming through. And when I've asked tarot for further clarification of that, I got the Tower. Now the Tower comes out when things are coming crashing down basically. So I'm getting the feeling that this sort of people pleasing and putting loads of effort into something else that's not benefiting you in some ways, what I'm feeling, is leading to burnout. So this sort of things crumbling down around you. Now the Tower card, it is a scary card to get in the tarot most of the time, well, pretty much all the time really, because it does mean that things are just being a bit chaotic. There's all of this crap going on. It's a feeling of not being safe as well, I think. But what happens after the Tower, after the crumbling of all of this, is you come out stronger from it, so it's to let yourself come out stronger from it. Now the other cards that I got out, I drew a couple more for clarification, and I got the Six of Pentacles in reverse. Now, when the Six of Pentacles is upright, it's all about sort of giving and receiving and sort of balancing that out, looking at where you're putting your resources, where you're getting your resources from, where you're putting your energy and what energy you're getting back. So for it to have come out in reverse, I get the feeling like something's out of balance in the way that you give and receive material abundance and perhaps even love as well. Perhaps that it comes from the same space, it comes from the heart space as abundance. So whatever it is in your material world, I just get the feeling that perhaps you are over giving and not being very good at receiving back. Okay, now that might be receiving back from yourself as well. So the effort that you put into coming up with all of these things for other people, it's time to start doing that for yourself and looking at what it is that you need to avoid this happening. And it might be that this has already happened, or maybe you're recognizing that this is starting to happen because of, you know, all of this effort that you're putting into something, and not giving yourself what you need. And when I've asked for more clarification on that, I got the Four of Swords. Now, the Four of Swords is all about rest. It's about taking a breather. So that's the advice that's coming through from tarot right now, is to just take a step back from everything that you're doing at the moment, you know. And in doing that, it will give you a chance to reassess where it is that you are giving your energy back and not receiving that back, you know. And just to look at where things are out of balance in your life, and literally give yourself a rest as well. Perhaps take some time out from whatever it is that you're doing, you know, time off work, a holiday if that's appropriate, time out from obligations if you can, and don't be afraid to ask for help with doing this as well if you need it. Okay, now the next message that came through was so random. I had an image of two women talking, and one of them, I was getting the idea that she was telling a friend what she was wanting to do to move forward, and a friend had looked down at her legs and said, well, you might want to go wash your legs first. And then in this image I can see that this lady's legs are really dirty, like really muddy, as if she's been like on a run, on a trail run, you know, and gone like somewhere really muddy off-road. Okay, and then I realised that the two people are actually the same person. So it's almost like it's the present person is the person with the dirty legs, and the other person who's telling them you might want to go wash your legs first is their future self. So this is what's coming through. This is the way I've interpreted this. So it's almost like that your future self is saying, yeah, you might want to move forward with something, but you can't take this with you. You can't move forward if you've still got this dirt hanging on to you. Okay, so, and I do think it's about the way we act around others. So it's, you know, this overgiving of yourself, not receiving very well. So it's almost like this is what you need to let go of, because if you keep doing this, you're not going to be able to move forwards with what it is that you want to do and what you need. Okay, and then when I've asked tarot for the next card, I'm always so excited to see this one. I get the Fool. Now the Fool is stepping out on a journey, taking very little with him. See, he's got this tiny little bag, and this is because he's let go of all of those things that he doesn't need to move forward. So that's the way I'm interpreting the Fool today. So perhaps not that, you know, you're setting out blindly on an adventure and you don't know where you're going, you know, because sometimes the Fool is all about taking a risk and, you know, taking that leap of faith. You know, he's stood on the edge of this cliff. But you see here, he's got this little dog at his ankles, sort of almost saying, oh, just be careful a minute, but, you know, don't go just yet. That's the way I'm seeing that today. He's really standing out to me, this little dog today. So for me today, this is more about, if you are wanting to step forward, you need to let go of the baggage. You need to wash your legs. Okay. Now I've asked for clarification on that one, and I got the Ten of Pentacles in reverse. Now when the Ten of Pentacles is upright, this is all about having total material stability in your life. You know, you're abundant, you're happy in what you have, you know, everything just feels like it's safe, secure, and yeah, just that, like, you're not wanting for anything. So for it to come out in reverse alongside the Fool, this is feeling to me like this is almost something that needs to be let go of. So your idea of what this is what needs to go. Yeah, and I think that is what this Four of Swords energy is all about, you know. So taking that time out to really reassess what it is that you value and what it is that you want moving forwards. And I think this coming out in reverse is sort of backing that up. It's like, my safety and stability isn't determined by what I've been giving out in the past, sort of thing. I hope this is resonating with someone, because it's quite a difficult message to try and convey Maybe when I pull out the next tarot card, it will help. So the Three of Swords was the next one I got. So again, Three of Swords upright is all about, it's not trusting in something, it's feeling like you've been betrayed. But for it to have come out in reverse, again, I feel like this is another thing to be letting go of. So those memories of anything that has let you down in the past, perhaps to do with when you've been overgiving to someone and then not receiving, get my cards mixed up now, not receiving back, you know, it's almost like this would be victim mentality. So thinking, oh, you know, woe is me, all these people are take from me all the time, I'm not getting anything back from it. But I think this pause that has been sort of generated by going into a tower moment, maybe this could be that you've, you know, had a bit of a period of illness actually that's forced you to take some time out. Yeah, that's feeling like that might be relevant for some of you. Okay, now coming out in reverse, I get the feeling that there's being a bit of a perspective shift around it, and you're seeing where actually people can only take from me if I'm willing to give. So it's a bit like that thing where if you can't change what's going on in your external, change what's going on in your internal, and, you know, look at it about, right, well, how can I take control of this situation? Those people in my life, whoever they are always going to be the sort of people that take. You know, I can't expect them to change. You know, if they want to change, that's down to them, you know, and it's beyond your control. But the thing that you can control is how you are in these situations. I think that's what this is all about. It's getting out of that feeling of being a victim of life and taking charge of it yourself, being a bit of a badass, really. You know, and taking back your energy, recognizing where it's being drained, putting boundaries up. I get the feeling that some of you aren't very good at boundary setting. And boundary setting, I think for a lot of, and I'm included in this, it's almost like, well, I don't want to come across as being cold, and I don't want people to think I'm a bit of an arse. But the thing is, if you keep giving and giving and giving and burning yourself out, you're good to no one, you know. So those people who you can genuinely give and receive from are the people that will stick around and support you through anything that you're going through as well. Right, so the next message that came through was another strange one, and it was a person saying, can I tag along with you? Would that be weird? So I get the feeling that whoever this person that is being asked that, it's almost like there's somebody new in your life. But I think that new person is you. You know, when I was talking before about that future self telling you that you've got dirty legs and you need to wash that off before you move forwards, it feels a bit like this. It's almost like the current self is talking to the future self and saying, can I come? Can I come with you now? Would that be weird? It's like, no, that invitation is there for you to move forwards. You just need to embrace that. Where's my Fool card gone? That Fool energy. And take none of that baggage with you anymore. Because to move forward, you're going to be doing it as a new person without all of that victim mentality, you know, feeling like you've overgiven in the past. I think it's a really nice message today. And to clarify that, when I drew a card for this one, oh, it's so lovely. And I love it when we get major arcana ones come through for these big messages. Like we've just had the Fool, you know, which is all about stepping forwards without that baggage. So to go alongside this, can I tag along with you into this new future? I got the Lovers. Okay. Now, I'm not seeing the Lovers here in a literal sense. I don't think that this is going to be meeting someone new. Although for some of you, it might be, you know, it might be that you've met someone new and they're the people that are the person that's going to help you move forwards. Actually, yeah, that is coming through strong. So it might be that this is another person. It doesn't have to be an intimate relationship. It might just be that you've met someone who's on your wavelength, you know, you're vibing the same. It's always nice. But for a lot of you, I get that this is about finding harmony within yourself. It's about getting the balance right for yourself, about, you know, turning this from the upside down position that was in earlier to upright and saying, right, I'm now in a position where I'm giving and receiving in equal measure. You know, my life is balanced, and it comes from a place of being balanced within. So, you know, what are you giving to yourself? What are you taking away? You know, it's all about getting that balance right, and I think that's how you're going to find harmony, and that's what's going to help you to move forwards in whatever it is that you're doing. Okay. Now, the last message that came through to me came through as a scenario. Okay. And I will admit it was a little bit alarming at first. So as an observer, I was stood watching a man who'd walked along a ledge on the side of the building. And this building's the sort that goes straight down into a big river, a big fast flowing river. And this man is walking along this thin ledge, you know, almost just like when you see on cartoons, the characters like inching between windows on a skyscraper, that sort of thing, you know, he's inching out along this ledge. And my initial sort of reaction is one of fear. It's like, oh my gosh, what's he going to do? And I can feel my anxiety going, and I feel like I want to go and help this person as the observer. But then he draws out a fishing rod and he starts fishing. And I know now that this is all about perspective. So it's coming back to everything that we've gone through in this reading, you know, it's relating back to it all. It's about, right, what can I change here? How can I see things differently? How can I leave that baggage behind me? You know, let's have a look at what we can learn from it, how we can grow from it and move forwards. Get out our fishing rod and go fishing. And the other thing is, with this gent, he's also thinking outside of the box. He's going to a place to fish where nobody else would think to go. You know, everyone else is going to be on the nice lazy riverbank further downstream where it's all nice and slow flowing and there's a nice beach just fish off, you know, and he's chosen to do it there. And in doing that, he's putting himself in a strong position that, you know, there is going to be more abundance in this part of the river because he's the only person fishing it. So when I asked for tarot for this one, I got the Star, another major card coming out, another major life change. Now, the Star is all about inspiration, and I feel like that's what's coming. You know, it's inspiration to do something new, but outside of the box, you know, thinking from a different perspective, you know, seeing an opportunity that somebody else has missed. And I get that this is going to come from having rested, having cleared your mind of all of that chatter that's going on, all your responsibilities, all of this, you know, putting everybody else's needs first. By really taking that time out, inspiration's going to come through. And then when I drew the last card, it's just so lovely. It's the Ace of Pentacles. Look at that. So it's a new beginning in abundance, something new coming in your material world. And I do think it's going to be because of this inspiration that's going to come through. It's like an insight that's going to happen, and all because of, you know, this tower moment, whatever it is that's going to sort of come crumbling down, you know, and that's going to, and it might have already happened for you, you know, this has been the thing that's caused you to rest, that then causes you to have this inspiration, you know, to move forwards into something new. Oh, I'm liking the energy of this. And then where's my Lover's card gone? You know, to find that unity and that harmony. I was going to say harmony. That unity and harmony in life. You know, I do feel like good things are on the way, but it's down to you to do the work to release that baggage and to start shifting your perspective. So I do really love the message that's come through today. Now, as always, please do comment below. I love to read them. I love to see how things are resonating for you. And if you like the video and things have resonated, please hit the like button and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get a ping every time I do a new video. I tend to do a couple a week, and then a longer form one for each of the change of astrological seasons. Now, also, as I said at the beginning, these are general readings going out to, you know, everybody on YouTube. It's available to everyone. But if you would like a personal reading, I do offer those. So if you head to my channel page and have a look in my bio, there's a link there that tells you how to do that. Thank you so much for joining me, and I'm wishing you all the best on whatever it is that you're doing moving forwards. All right, take care. Goodbye.